a true grass support, top Malphite. I mean, that's a big thing that MME X Hazard, that was the last title that we know him by, but Me Programs X Hazard did to change the world, shift the meta as well. And mid-Eve. The dangerous thing that we see in professional games makes it so much harder for us to test out in our own situations in competitive like normal play of maybe 1300 below, or even in higher ranks like in 1800 or so. Like, you want to try this new thing out, but it's going to get banned out because they saw it all in like an MLG or an IEM or even the World Championships. And I feel like the awesome play of AP Eve is going to be happening pretty soon. I mean, looking over at this replay right here, this is actually from a competitive game over off of Nice Game TV, the awesome people over at the Nice Game TV League of Legends Battlegrounds. They had a AP Eve in the finals and also in the third place game of this guy named Tempest Angels. If you don't know who he is, he's a part of the team of Zenith Tempest, and literally he played AP Eve to a T, using that dangerous damage that is coming out from the Evelynn player, no problem, and also just in general the damage output that Evelynn does once she does have a DFG on top of everything. So, while we're kind of just talking about Evelynn in a way that everyone knows about Evelynn, I'm pretty sure not a lot of people actually know about Evelynn, really, truthfully, because I don't even know. She is a champion that is pretty much an AP assassin. She is statistically learned or enabled as a jungler slash maybe a support even then, but really it's just a jungler. She has a pretty good kit. Her Shadow Walk is her invisible stealth kit, and if you do get in range, you will get sighted and such, and then you have to do whatever you want to do as damage wise, or you have to just run away out of there as fast as you can. Her Q ability is Hate Spike. Hate Spike does a bit of AoE damage per se in a line. It hits anything that's in that straight line, and it does magic slash attack damage, which is normal, whatever. That's her kind of her basic nuke ability. Dark Frenzy is her movement speed actual buff, and does a lot of closing the gap per se as a AP assassin kind of character. So that is very keen to her kit, but mostly it's just used to just close distances and actually get her away with that bonus movement speed as well. Ravage is her nuke. She does a bit of AP slash AD damage, as well as just doing a damage that hits twice. That's pretty strong. And lastly, but not leastly, is the actual nuke, Agony's Embrace, which is, we'll just say, if you have DFG, you have that on top, you can kill any carry literally in about 1 second or below. So we'll be going into that really quickly as well. We're going to be going into a game about Evelynn really quickly, but we do have an AP Eve guy, and mostly the general notion, if you want to play Eve, is not really the Gunblade, the starting out with Buzzwater and stuff like that. I mean, that helps a lot because they help her sustain, but her kit really relies on DFG. Deathfire's Grasp, if you guys don't know what that is a idle nuke. Pretty much you take out maximum health of the champion down below the 30% of the health plus the actual active, which actually adds on to how much ability power you have, so it adds on more damage as well. So minimum 200 damage plus a 1 minute cooldown, but it's a interesting slash pretty much another Agony's Embrace nuke for Eve slash for any AP mid, because AP mids in general have been picking up DFG just to help out, just tank down or even kill the big AD or AP carries as well. So yeah, pretty much we know about the notions about the item kit. We haven't really seen anything as in gameplay from her in general, just because there's not that many people who are playing Eve, because the notion of playing Eve in general in the game of League of Legends is like, well, you're gonna troll me, right? Because Evelynn's never played before. Well, we're gonna see it in the ranked game right now. Evelynn in general in the lane phase, I mean, she's not the greatest. We can say that for at least. Her early game lane phase is like Vayne's early game lane phase for an AD carry. Pretty bad. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It is pretty bad. There's only like a few characters that can really match up against Eve in the mid and actually called even for Eve, like Vladimir or so, who have like pretty bad early phases as well. So I mean, the biggest thing that you want to do with Eve is, you know, get that farm, get that awesomeness in that, so that you can get your item for a DFG, which is Kage's Lucky Pick, and then run it from there. But, you know, the notion of having an Eve in general, right? If you're in ranked game, or even if you're having a team game, the biggest thing is, you know, AP medals in the game of League of Legends right now in this meta are the ones that either initiate or have to assassinate the AD carry. Right now, this is the role of, you know, the AP Eve right now. She is an assassinator. She has to do, you know, what we said about the early phase, has to do that early game farming to get to that mid game status where she's pretty strong. She is like one of the best AP mids ever for that strong mid game. But to get to that state, she has to farm up as much as she can, pretty much uninterrupted. If you can't really farm up uninterrupted, I mean, Kage's Lucky Pick will be a good item into that early to mid game where you need to get that AP, but also get that extra gold from it. But the problem is you're going to fall way bits behind if you can't actually farm. You get DFG a lot earlier to be set up for your mid game. What Eve lacks, again, not because she is squishy, she is definitely one of the squishiest, but looking at her actual stats, she gets benefit of the doubt of having the AP Bruiser match resist awesomeness of having that 1.25 per level extra magic resist. She does add that extra bit of health more than a lot of other AP carries in mid that usually have, but she is kind of squishy just because she does have an innate ability of you know, just getting in there in the face of everybody. And you know, as an AP assassin, if you fail to actually kill your target, you pretty much will die no matter what. So that is kind of the definition of an Eve or slash an AP middle. Like, it is very squishy, but she is probably one of the tankiest of the AP middles out of everybody technically. Right now she is trying to zone out. Scary is going to go ahead and flash up and try to get some pressure onto the TF. And right now this matchup between TF and Evelynn is actually a really bad matchup for Evelynn, especially because TF has Destiny, which allows to get true sight, or pretty much vision of Evelynn or any stealth character, which really sucks. But it is something that Shabazz is saying, you know what, I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to deal with it with trying to win out my lane and trying to do as much as I can. And she is pretty much keeping up in pace with the awesomeness of the TF's CS. So there you go with that. Really quickly, another thing about having Evelynn as a teammate, you kind of need to build around her. Sadly for now, you need to have some hard engages. So if you saw in the Xenix Tempest versus PSW Ares matchup, they did have some hard engagers. I think they had they didn't have the Relay was against there, but they had probably some. I'm not gonna lie, like, yeah, I don't remember totally just because it was a week ago for that PSW Ares versus Tempest match, but it is a really important thing that you don't actually engage as Evelynn, because you can't really engage as Evelynn unless you're picking off or killing a AP carry or a AD carry. You can't really do anything as a start of the team fight, because if you do, you pretty much just die out pretty scarily, just because you do have, you know, a little bit of surprise with your first stealth move, but other than that, you don't really do much more. You really don't do much more. So, I mean, this is not actually a guide for Evelynn. Evelynn, I mean, you can look up guides and everything for that. I just want to talk about what Evelynn actually provides as a character in general, especially in the middle lane. We do see Shabazz right now going up for this top gank, and right there, you do see that the ward was placed right over here, right? It doesn't matter if you do have a sight ward right over here. It does matter if Evelynn was revealed, which she wasn't though. And having that side ward over there means that Evelynn now, who's in the bushes in that game, TF doesn't know where Evelynn is right now and may have to use out that Destiny Gate. So all in all, in general, what I just said right there means that right now the enemy team with the enemy team that is posing Evelynn has no idea where Evelynn is. They could guess that she is back, but she could be over by the brushes over here, and that's why you see Graves and Gragas. I mean, yeah, support Gragas is weird, but yeah, Graves and Gragas right here at the tower, And TF is going to go up just because TF has a little bit more of a stronger pull into it. But we do see the slight vision coming out, Destiny coming down, and we're going to see probably Destiny, or TF get some kills right over here because that is what TF does when she does get engaged. But the Shen's going to say no to that. But with that early amount of pressure with Evelyn just being gone, it literally meant that the team had to back away from actually being aggressive. So in a way, in a way for any stealth character, Twitch or even Shaco, you always have to know / be very careful about where you're placing. And once you see them off on the map or off of Mia or missing in action, sorry about that, you have to actually just play defensively, and it really denies an element in League of Legends / in general right now in the NA meta / North American meta. That aggressiveness in the beginning go that most teams do, they can't really do it if they can't know where everybody is. The aggression's there just because North American / in general, all players play pretty aggressively, but the generosity is that you have to have vision before that to be very secure about where you're going to go with the awesome damage and such. We do see Shabaz's awesomeness right there with that Evelyn, getting that Dark Frenzy to try to catch up the Gragas. Gragas unfortunately using that body stem to get away, but still getting a kill onto the awesome Graves player right over there. So Evelyn right now still roaming around right now. She does have 36 CS plus that kill on top of that with the Lucky Kage's pick is pretty close, I would say, to DFG. And most Evelyn players, if you're going to be playing AP Eve or AP mid Eve, you're going to be really watching them go for DFG first, because that extra damage on top of the Agony's Embrace, that ultimate that Shabazz does, is just so strong. Do another gank going in, you do see a double kill going on, but King Kong is going to be able to pick up a kill over here. Probably going to pick up another kill right here on Shabazz. So good job by King Kong to make a bad situation become decently good. Random kill right here for the turret right over there, but yeah. I'm going to say that this E player, in general, this E level here is about, I would say, 1300 to 1400, but I would say about this E player, isn't the worst, but isn't the best as well. You see the backup over here. I'm going to go fasten up a little bit over here. Right now, it's still only 10 minutes in this game, but we are already seeing the roams for both TF, of course, because TF is a roaming AP just because of Destiny and 2Gate, but also with E player over here, just getting the sorcerer shoes on top of what she's about to build into DFG. So, the most important items about AP Eve in general is to get that Kage's Lucky Pick. But the second thing is to actually get damage. Most people would think, oh, you see Eve, you're gonna just stun her, get the hard CC, and then win out from there. Importantly, yes, that is why you don't pick Eve. And if there's a team with big hard CCs like TF, Mumu, or Aurelia, then maybe you should rethink about that. But I guess Shabazz was like, I'm gonna play Eve just because I can play Eve. But in general, you want to keep up with the damage on Evelyn, so you want to have that sorcerer to actually get more penetration as your spells are doing so much more damage, and especially your Agony's Embrace. Again, guys, if you don't know, that is pretty much a DFG counterpart yet again. So you do pretty much percent of their health, and then you add on to your Defire's Grasp, which is another percent of the health, which is pretty much equivalent to about 60 to 70% of the health, and then you just finish up with one or two abilities, literally just killing down onto the 80 or AP carry. King Kong straddled out over here. We do see the chase up and the Agony's Embrace. So actually, just Dark Frenzy on top of Hate Spike gonna get the kill. Shabazz getting now 2-1-1 and slowly but surely getting that snowball. And that is the important part about playing middle in general. Right now into where the Korean meta is, where you just push all day on turrets and stuff like that, the one moniker and one knack is that the middle player technically does not roam too much. The middle player can and do that, and that is very important if you're the one getting pushed upon, because that means you can get more secure defenses on either top tower or bottom tower, depending on where the 2v1 is. But literally, they usually just farm up mid, because that lane phase in the 2v1 kind of push down meta of the Korean meta right now, which means that they need to farm up as much as they can so they can get an extra advantage in the item, an extra advantage into that mid game. This is no 2v1 meta kind of thing. This is no any big kind of ranked 5 game. This is still just knowing or acknowledging that roaming Eve / roaming mid really will hurt the team. Oh, we do see Shabazz going to be taken down over here. King Kong actually taking down the Shen before scaring himself to be able to pick up that kill onto Bondoy, but in general, with that extra vision / that extra damage coming onto not Eve, but in general just the AP mid onto other lanes, it means that there's going to be more pressure for both lanes to say, we have to back off half the time, or we have to not push as hard because we're going to get caught down, not because of Evelyn, but in general by the middle player. And having these kind of remnants, TF as well, actually, it really, really discourages teams to actually play that 2v1 push kind of style and push all in a way. So right now we're pretty much seeing almost the end of the early phase, probably going right into the mid phase / it is already mid phase because both members of mid / everybody is pretty much over that level 6 mark. Really quickly, we do see 212, 59 CS on Evelyn. We do see 84 CS with that unusually large rod on the only TF. What I would suggest if you are playing against a mid player Eve, or in general any stealth character Eve, is definitely have a character that you have self-detection, which is pretty cool if you can get TF, but in general have a roaming kind of assist kind of character, like as well as Kassadin or TF or anything like that, because that really denies the aspect of the roaming style / the sight vision style of the AP mid that is roaming with stealth with Shaco or Twitch or even onto Eve. Only problem is Eve is one of the 3 that can execute, I would say, a moderate amount of damage in that mid-game-ness, and that's why if you do get caught down by yourself, literally with Eve at least, you won't live. There's no chance. There's definitely no chance that you can live in there. So we are going to see the Dragon being taken down. We're going to see Shabazz go back in, and we're going to probably see DFG about to rebel up. I'm going to see Shabazz buy out that DFG, and then we'll go to a break really quickly. But with Evelyn coming online / with just in general map vision coming online in this game, right now I just want to see this. We'll let him go back, but just want to see the status of the map. There's a ward right here, and there's a ward right here for blue team, while on purple team, looking at the site, we have nothing. Literally nothing. I mean, Gragas is kinda, he's being supported and he has that pink ward and such like that, but he has no vision, no sight, and he's gonna use that pink ward to go over here and clear out that ward over here by the river brush. But that's pretty much it. No wards over at top lane to really help out, no wards anywhere else really to just help out the team, which is very interesting to see where DFG and the Negation cloaked Shabazz / Evelyn is about to get in. We are about to go into the break. We do see Shiro about to get probably killed. I'm not gonna lie, probably gonna die. But we will be right back into the second part of the episode of Learning League episode 19. Eve is just another